y'all, what's happening? This is D. And um I wanted to come to you guys today and talk about friends. Hmm. Um Everybody likes to have, well, let me not say that. Everybody doesn't like having friends. Some people don't care about having friends. But for the most part, most people like to have friends and enjoy having friends. Um and you start to learn as you go through life who your friends are. I personally have had crazy experiences with individuals that I thought were my friends, and it seems that things tend to happen to me in threes. All right, threes of a very significant has been a very significant number in my life. Um, I lost three people, and I won't say lost. I gave up three people in my life that I thought were my friend. The first person was this female, Lisa Hawes. I used to work with her when I worked at the YMCA. When I lived in the Norristown area, we worked at the YMCA at the Audubon, and it was a daycare center. And we were friends for like a good mm, 9 years. A good 9 years. Like, our kids knew each other from the time that, well, I'll say my youngest at that time was like 2, and her son was 2, and we got pretty close. Well, I left the area and ended up moving to New York. While there, I was going through my own thing. Now, mind you, from where she was and where I lived in New York, it was about a 4.5 hour drive. And I ended up coming up like every other weekend. On my weekends off, I would see her. And even before I had every other weekend off, I was going up to visit her. But I had a situation where I really needed her. And I was asking her to come and visit. Now, the whole time that I had been living in New York, and I had already been in New York for a few years, I was asking her if she would come and visit. And it was always an excuse. Well, this last time that I had asked her to come and visit, I was like at the point where I was so tired of her excuses, because I was literally depressed, and I knew that I needed company to really help me to keep me where I needed to be mentally. I was going through a whole lot of stuff. I lost my kids to their father because we ended up getting divorced, and it was just a whole big mess. And at that point, I hadn't I hadn't been able to be around my kids or see my kids for like a couple of years, and I had never been away from them like that. And well, one, I will say this: depression is real. So if you've never truly experienced depression, it can be quite messy. Um, but I was asking her if she would come, and she was at a place where she didn't have anything stopping her. She said that her son was with his father, and she wasn't working, and like everything was like a go. And I'm like, okay, so what's the problem? Like, when are you able to come and see me? And still, she's giving me like all these excuses. And I said, Lisa, you know how long I've been there for you? How many times I've driven up and down this highway for you when you've needed me, and you've been like, oh girl, can you come and see me? And you've asked, and I have taken my time, and you know, weekends when I'm off, when I would prefer to be resting and not on the road, I'm on the road and I'm coming to visit you. I told her that the next time she got in touch with me, if she was not telling me the bus that she was going to be on, the time that she was going to be off the bus, and the day, like everything, then don't bother hitting me up anymore, because I'm not going to deal with a one-way relationship when it comes to my friendships. I don't do that. Like, as much as I'm there for you, bitch, I expect you to be there the same fucking way for me, right? And so she ended up calling me again and just giving me like this real bullshit type of answer. And I said, you know what? Don't call me no more. I said, matter of fact, lose my fucking number. Take it out of your book. Take it out of your phone. Don't call me no more, because I'm done. She tried to smooth things over a couple days later, and I said, I don't know why you're even bothering to hit me up, because I'm not your girl no more. I'm not your girl, so please lose my number. Let that friendship go. And she kind of was saying things like I was over exaggerating and everything, and I'm just like, no, like, you don't understand the form in which friends or enemies disguise themselves, because they can come in many different forms. And the craziest part about it is the ones that you really think are really there for you, you have to watch out for the red flags, even with your so-called friends, because you get to see who really are your friends and who aren't. The next person was this female that I had met, and we were friends for like 4 years. And that friendship basically broke up over money. She ended up, what happened? She ended up getting this car, but because of how her credit was, she was going to have to pay like this astronomical price for her car insurance. So she asked first if I could, when she bought the car, because she got it from this guy, she got a deal with the car. Oh my God, this sounds like, hold on, this sounds like a motorcycle and it's a fucking car. Hold on. Damn. So she got this deal for this car, and she bought it, but then she asked me if I would buy it from her for $1 and put the insurance for the car and everything in my name. But of course it would be her car, and then she would just give me money to pay the insurance until she was able to get her, credit restored in a decent way where she could get her own insurance for her car. And I was like, fine. So we ended up doing that for a little bit, and not long after, it might have been like probably not even a good 2-3 months, she got hit. So because it wasn't her fault, she was able to actually receive money from the other person's insurance company, and enough to be able to get her, like another car. So meanwhile, she had to, she was in the process of moving, and she needed some money, and she was really counting on the money that she was going to be getting from the car accident to help her out in terms of giving the first and last month's rent to this different place where she was going to be staying. And she was short, so she asked if she could borrow the money from me, and I was like, all right, fine. Mind you, the money that was coming to her from the car accident was actually coming in my name to my place, and she was driving around in a rental car that was in my name because everything, the car was in my name. It legally was my car. This is around tax time, and this chick came to my place and confronted me and was asking about the money. And I was like, well, the check didn't come yet. She was like, well, they told me that it would only take 3 days. I said, use your head. We're out here in New York, and that check is coming from Minnesota. It's going to take more than 3 days for that check to come because of where it's coming from. So she's just swearing that I got the money already because she seen me like spending all this money. I said, so you don't think that I got any tax money back? Like, bitch, I don't have to fucking lie to you about money that's coming back. I said, as a matter of fact, I fucking gave you $700 to help your ass because you needed it to be able to put a down payment for your apartment. I didn't even have it, and this is how bad it was. I didn't initially have it, but I was like, I'll get it and I'll give it to you. I borrowed the money from my brother because it wasn't my pay time, and I'm just, doing everything in good faith because she said that she was going to pay me that money back. And I asked my brother if he had, it might not have been 7. I think I had 2 to give her, and I think I asked my brother if he had like 500 that I could borrow, and he was like, yeah, no problem. Now, the thing like with my brother that I love, like the way that the two of us are, if we have it, we're going to get it, no questions asked. If we feel like we can't part with a certain amount of money, then we just say it. Like, my brother could have been like, I can give you $499, but I can't give you $500. Like, that's just $1 too much. But we've never, made any big deals when it comes to borrowing money from each other. And again, it's like if we have it, we give it. Like our mother kind of taught us to be a bit different than that when it comes to each other, when it, as far as money. So money has never meant anything to us in that kind of way. Like, if we feel like we're going to miss it, then we're not going to allow someone to borrow that much from us. And I tried to explain this to her, like, it doesn't, money doesn't really matter to me like that when it comes to friends. Like, if I can help you, I'm going to do whatever it is that I can to help you. Well, she was ready to, like, damn near fight me in my kitchen, and was like, well, when it comes to money, there are no friends. Because she literally was believing that I had the money and I was spending it and not giving it to her. And I was like, okay, so since you feel like that, I said, fine. When the money finally came, I gave it to her. She got out of the rental car. She paid me back the money that she owed me, and I stopped talking to her. Like, I didn't, it was like done. And she seen me this one day in the car, maybe like a week or so later, and she was like, well, how you doing? Like, I've been calling you and texting you and reaching out to you, and you haven't been responding. And I said, yeah, because we're not friends no more. And she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, I just thought that you were just busy, like, with working and, overtime and stuff like that. And I said, no. I said, I'm not trying to be your friend anymore. I said, because you already told me that when it comes to money, there are no friends, because you value money over friendships. And I'm not like that. If I have something to give, I'm going to give it if you're my friend. I'm like, you should have known that from day one, because day one, I helped you out and I took you and your son shopping when you didn't even know when your boyfriend at the time, your son's father, was going to be around and send you the money that he owed you. And I helped you out the very first day that I met you. But since you value money over friendships, then you go right ahead and you have that. Because you're the kind of person that I know is not going to serve me well. I don't want you. I don't need that kind of person as a friend. Years later, she ended up finding me through my email, and she sent me an email apologizing, saying how she never had a friend like me, and she kind of learned like a hard lesson in regards to that, because she kind of was put in the same position that I was put in with her, and she really saw things from my perspective and said that she really wished that she would have handled it differently, and was even asking if we could possibly be friends, and I was like, no, I'm good. I said, but I am glad that you learned that lesson, and maybe that's really all I was supposed to be there for, was for you to learn that lesson in life, that not everybody is out to do you some kind of harm. Like, there are people that sincerely care about you as a friend. So the third is something that happened very, very recently. And this is with someone, her name is Nikki. And we were friends for a long time. Like, my two youngest kids and her kids were like still pretty young. So I'm sorry I had to stop for a second, but I don't even want to really get into the whole story with this other person, Nikki, because I don't even want to give it any kind of energy, any more energy. All I can say is I don't think that I was really paying attention to the signs throughout the years, and I believe that this person was truly jealous of me and undermined me towards the end of our friendship in a very, very harsh way, by trying to come in between me and the friendship of someone else who I believe that she's also jealous of, and trying to, give this person talk negatively about me, or I guess in her eyes, she felt like she was talking negatively about me and that it would discourage my friend from continuing to have a friendship with me. And my other girlfriend basically told her, listen, I'm her friend. So you think that I don't know about her? I know about her, because my other girlfriend is a Christian. And she said, I know how she is, and she knows how I am, and we respect each other. And so there's never been any time where she's been disrespectful towards me. And I'll just say it like, my girlfriend knows I do magic. Everyone knows that I do magic. And she basically was trying to say, oh, I'm a witch, trying to down talk me and everything, but didn't want to share the fact that she also does magic as well. And I guess, she may not consider herself a witch. I don't know what she considers herself as, but she does magic and shit like that too. This was one of the things as we got older that we started to collaborate on. But the thing is, as time, has gone on, and I would look at the behaviors of people that were in my life that I considered as friends, I started to understand how we don't choose our friends. Or for me, I don't choose my friends. What I choose is or I'll say this, I learned to discern who my enemies are and decide to stay away from them. and not give any energy to them. But for those that I have things in common with, they just become my friends. I don't go out and say, oh, I'm going to make this person my friend. I don't do that. What I do is, once I interact with you and I start to see how you are, I then use my own intuition and discernment to see, based on things that are going on, current situations, whether I need to treat you as an enemy or not. And if you're an enemy, then guess what? I'm going to stay the hell away from you. So I think that that's one of the things that we have to really learn to do. Is not so much know how to choose a friend, but learn how to discern who's an enemy. So I know that this was long, but I hope that somebody can definitely benefit from this and my experience. So I am D and I am out. So stay tuned for the next one, y'all. Peace.